One of the common pitfalls or troubleshooting problems I've come across is students not being able to find the STL or OBJ file that they have just downloaded for 3D printing. So I thought it very proactive to talk about that in the training to make sure that my teachers understood where the files go when they're downloaded. I understand that most of us probably are familiar with the download menu where all downloads go unless otherwise specified when you download files, but this is where they will be if you're in a PC in this folder in your library called downloads. Once they're in there, they're probably going to be a zip file that you'll have to right click and unzip to extract the files, and then you'll be able to access them from whatever 3D printing software you are in. In a Mac, that's going to look like this, okay, and your files would show up here. So they'll be in a download folder. Usually you'll have to go to your main menu and then you'll see the downloads. Sometimes if you're in a network, it'll be under your name and then your downloads under your name, not underneath the main download menu. So sometimes you'll have two download menus or folders, sorry. But I'm on a Chromebook, so I'm going to show you what that looks like in a Chromebook because downloads are just a little different. You have something called a file folder, and that's separate from your drive. I don't want you to confuse the two. So in your files, that's storing it on your actual device, and they'll be temporarily stored on your Chromebook usually. Because if you run out of file storage, which you will if you keep downloading large 3D printing files, they'll be stored here temporarily. And a lot of 3D printing printers do not run off of Chrome operating system, so you usually have to download that or email it to yourself. But when you attach an email when you go to attach the file to an email or download it into a zip drive, you have to know where to find it. And so in Chromebook, it's going to be right here. And you can see here I have one that I've downloaded already from the last tutorial we did. Okay, and again, it's going to be in your download section, not in your drive, because a lot of people are going to look there intuitively, but always tell your students, especially if you're in a Chromebook one-to-one classroom, that you're going to find that in the download section. And it's not going to open on this Chromebook because this Chromebook is not equipped or it doesn't have the software to run a 3D printer. But that's where you would look for that software, or that file. So I'm going to go ahead and run through that whole process real quick from beginning to end. So if I am my design, and I go to export everything in the design, and then I choose STL. It has now exported that into my folder right over here. So I'm going to have it show me that in the folder under my downloads. And there it is right there. Okay. Now if I go to open this, it's not going to be able to open it because I do not have a program on this Chromebook to actually do that. And I could use and install a 3D view program, which is what this is asking me to do. If I just want to view it, I can do that. But if I wanted to view it, I would just look at it in Tinkercad. So I'm not going to bog down my Chromebook by doing that at this time. But what I could do is right click, and I could actually take this, and I could take that zip file and attach it to an email. And what that's going to look like, let me just go ahead and open up my Gmail and show you what that would look like. So if you're in your Gmail and I wanted to just attach that, I'll just go through the attachment process. I would compose an email, and it doesn't matter who I'm sending it to. You just come down to the attachment, and the key is knowing where to look for the attachment, because many times it's not given. A lot of times it'll go directly to Drive. So if I was looking at Drive, I wouldn't see it here, and I'd be like, where is my file? It should be in my Drive. But if you download it, it's going to be in your downloads, and that is the pitfall that a lot of my students run into. And then just choose that file, open it, it won't open it, it will attach it, and you can see it is now attached to this email, and send it to whomever you like. Send it to yourself and then open it on another computer. Either way, you'll be able to access your STL file and troubleshoot that very simple problem with your students. Just being aware of it helps you look for that problem as a teacher.